heard of the term K-pop, whether it be from your YouTube recommendations or from the hordes of K-pop fans on social media. K-pop has become a global phenomenon within the past decade, growing to be one of the main economic contributors in South Korea. K-pop can be explained in simple terms. It is Korean pop music, primarily focused around the dance pop genre. Korean Idol hopefuls train for upwards of 10 years in boot camp-style companies to achieve their dream. Many never do. Fan culture is more focused around the relationship between artist and fan, and specific dance routines are implemented to make the songs a success. Many fans enjoy K-pop because of the connection between the artist and the fan themselves. For example, I've been a fan of the girl group Nature since they debuted in August 2018. Throughout my time as a fan of the group, I've been able to dance for them, speak to them electronically through an app called Fan Cafe, and most recently I was able to digitally meet the group and especially my favorite member, Hallyu. This type of fan communication is what makes the group so special to their online fan base. Hallyu is a term originally from China, meaning quite literally, Korean Wave. It explains the growth of Korean culture in foreign countries. The term was first coined to explain the rise of popularity of Korean dramas in Southeast Asia, but has changed to be a more broad term. Recently, it has been used to explain the popularity of K-pop. There are many popular K-pop groups throughout the years that people think were the start of the wave. Whether it be Blackpink, Twice, or BTS, everyone has a favorite. I'm sure you can tell from my collection that I'm a Twice fan. But I know they were not the beginning of this wave. To find the source of the Hallyu Wave, we need to look back up to the year 2008, when the superstar BoA was making her US debut with the single Eat You Up. Today, BoA is known as one of the founding stars of K-pop, but in 2008 she was early into her career. After gaining commercial success in Korea and Japan, BoA's label, SM Entertainment, decided it was time to capitalize on her English-speaking skills to advance her into the foreign market. SM Entertainment stated that BoA was to become the next Janet Jackson, and in 2008 they released her debut US album entitled BoA. The album charted at number 9 on Billboard, and BoA was able to perform at shows such as the Jingle Ball and the San Francisco Pride Festival. However, BoA quickly returned to domestic promotions when her songs failed to gain traction. They were buried under the many hits of 2008, leaving her to return to her Korean successes. Even today, BoA is one of the most popular idols in the industry and released her 10th full album on December 1st, 2020. In 2009, the Wonder Girls entered the scene. Debuting in 2007 with the song Irony, the members Sonye, Hyuna, Yeon, Sunmi, and Soe were loved for their quirky style and flawless vocals. They quickly skyrocketed to fame with the hit song Tell Me. Even today, everyone who's anyone knows the dance to this song. It became a viral hit within South Korea. So viral, in fact, that JYP Entertainment decided to expand Wonder Girls into the US market. Nobody was one of the Wonder Girls' biggest hits, and an English version was released in the US in June 2009. An album soon followed, and the girls were scheduled to open for the US leg of the Jonas Brothers' 2009 World Tour. Nobody entered the Billboard Hot 100, marking the Wonder Girls as the first Korean group to mark such a feat. Promotions for the girls looked impressive. They were given a TV concert movie produced by Nickelodeon in 2012. They performed on The Wendy Williams Show. Their concert tour in the US was a huge hit. Their following singles, Two Different Tears, The DJ Is Mine, and Like Money did well on the charts. Everything was looking up for the girls. So, what went wrong? The answer was simple. The members wanted to go on different paths. In the middle of US promotions, member Sunmi left the group and was replaced by Haerim. Member Sonye announced her marriage and subsequent pregnancy in 2013 and wanted to retire from the industry. Soe left the group to focus on acting in the same year. New members were added, old members returned, but it was clear that the Wonder Girls who hit it big in America would not be returning. In 2015, Wonder Girls announced a member change and revamped their style, becoming a retro-style band. They did well in Korea but disbanded in 2017. The 4 final members, Sunmi, Haerim, Yubin, and Yeon, remain successful today in their various solo paths.
겁이 나서 시작조차 안 해봤다면 그댄 투덜대지 마라 좀. GG.
In similar times came the most important girl group of all time, known as the nation's girl group, Sonyeoshide, or Girls' Generation. Debuting in 2007, Girls' Generation opened the doors for girl groups in a male-dominated industry. You could say that they started the popularity of girl groups in Korea, and even today they remain the nation's treasure. With many hit songs such as G, Genie, and Into the New World, SM Entertainment, which was also home to artist BoA, decided the next step for Girls' Generation would be to expand into the US market. In 2011, they released the song The Boys in both English and Korean, and they made their debut performance on The Late Show with David Letterman. In Korea, the album immediately shot to the top of the charts. But in America, they only sold 21,000 copies, far less than they had hoped. Various fan meets and concerts were held to promote the girls to the US. While they did have a success in 2013, winning Video of the Year at the 2013 YouTube Music Awards with I Got a Boy, it didn't last. In 2014, member Jessica was removed from the group, causing scandal and fan wars to begin. Many fans accused the girls of bullying Jessica, with others defending the remaining members. All promotions were halted to focus on rebuilding the images of the girls in Korea and Japan, and the US market was pushed out of focus. This isn't to say that the girls failed to receive Western validation. Their songs did well, their music videos created many fans. Many K-pop fans today will say that Girls' Generation was one of the first Korean acts that they became aware of. Today, the girls are still together as a group but are focused mostly on solo projects.
You know the girls, bring the boys out.
2012 was a year in which internet culture began to grow. Artists, internet personalities, and living memes could become the next big hit simply from online exposure. And this did happen for one Korean star. Let me ask, has anyone ever heard the phrase, "Oppa Gangnam Style"?
오빤 강남 스타일 강남 스타일 오빤 강남 스타일.
The singer of this song is Psy, and almost overnight it became a viral hit. I was in middle school at the time, and even though I didn't have a cell phone, it was inescapable. Psy, real name Park Jae-sung, began as a singer in the early 2000s. Psy was never your typical K-pop star. He sings about comedic topics, he isn't extremely physically fit and handsome, and he isn't afraid to speak on controversial issues. While always being fairly popular in Korea, Gangnam Style exploded Psy's US popularity. Within a few days, he was making appearances on Ellen, The Today Show, and Saturday Night Live. Gangnam Style shot to the top of the charts in both video and audio form. In 2012, Gangnam Style became the most viewed YouTube video of all time, reaching 1 billion views. His subsequent songs never reached the same popularity, but still became quite popular in the US throughout the 2010s. So, what happened? You can go about this subject one of two ways. Many Koreans feel that Psy brought a good image to their country. He was even asked to perform at the presidential inauguration in 2013. However, some believe that Psy's comedic style of music made K-pop look like a joke, putting up more boundaries for Korean artists who wanted to gain Western recognition. No matter what you believe, it can't be argued that Psy did a lot for the movement of K-pop into the West. Today, Psy has left his home agency of YG Entertainment, starting his own label, P Nation, which employs acts such as Dawn, Jessie, and former Wonder Girls member Hyuna. There were other groups who attempted to break into the US market, but they never got the success of the idols I have chosen to speak about today. However, for the sake of history, I would love to give them recognition. Spica was a girl group known for their powerful vocals. In 2014, they released their song I Did It as their US debut. The song did well, but they never returned to the US, and unfortunately, the group disbanded in 2017. CL was a member of 21, one of the most popular Korean girl groups of all time. She broke into the US with the song Lifted in 2014, but failed to reach success. However, she seems to be moving back into the US market currently. Other groups became popular enough to have US tours, such as boy groups Big Bang and 2PM, but failed to reach commercial success. Many speculate that this is because of the oversaturation of the market. Not everyone could make it, and many acts were trying. By 2017, K-pop was becoming much more popular. Rather than commercial success in the US, it was the online fan bases of said groups that grew. International fandoms for groups such as Blackpink, Monsta X, and EXO were growing to the extreme. The work of the seniors who debuted before created the platform in the US for other artists to expand the Hallyu Wave and make K-pop a household name. This would happen soon in 2017 with a little group you may have heard of, BTS. But that's a story for another time. The story of BTS may be powerful, but it's not to discredit the other artists. Groups such as Girls' Generation created the foundations for today's groups to rise up and promote their culture. The Hallyu Wave does not have an end, it keeps growing, bringing forth new opportunities. In the next video, we'll be discussing the rise of BTS and how their contribution to K-pop brought the Hallyu Wave higher than it has ever been before. Please request any Korean-related topics you'd like me to discuss in the comments section. Have a great day!